Today I would like to sketch a house in Japan designed by Tamada and Wakimoto architects. And the reason why I've decided today's building is because this building really hits in the core of the idea of living with nature. For today, I decided that I'm going to draw the section drawing of the building to give you the idea of what it means to live with nature. The title of this architecture is called the roof house. Actually, I don't think there's a word "the" in there. Anyways, the roof house is a house with a gigantic roof on top of small units of houses. So I'm going to draw the small units of houses right here. The concept is very clear from the get-go. We know what we're getting. Now, I got the general sense of idea of the house. Let me add in some braces, actually. The section drawing include the nice brace drawings here, because these are basically held by thin poles in the building. Let me bring this drawing just a bit higher up. I might have screwed up the proportions just a bit, but I'm here to give you the idea of the house, not exactly the exact sketching of the house. Anyways, now that I have the general compartment, I'm going to draw in the section drawing so you can sort of see where the house is actually located and how it's located. So this is the concrete of the house, I believe. And, if you're making a concrete, you always have a mortar at the bottom, and you want to build that way up there. Not that I have experience in a construction job, but as an architecture student, I would like to learn more about it. And you can sort of see all the wood and stuff over here, and the parapet. And this house actually has a skylight, which I'm not surprised. The roof here is actually sort of transparent. Actually, let me draw this in perspective so you can sort of see what's going on here. So this is the bottom of the roof. Voila. And with the transparent roofs, it allows sunlight to seep into your area without it blocking the sun. It allows you to do that without, having to deal with rain and having to actually deal with proper outdoor space. Now, I believe in Japan, there's a high demand for in-between spaces, or jukan ryoiki, we like to say. I don't know, maybe it's true for other countries, except I've never really studied outside of Japan. So, with these in-between spaces, or I guess middle ground spaces, gray zone spaces, I don't know what it's called, you can to experience outside without you being exposed to harsh reality of nature. So in this building, in the middle, they put this outdoor kitchen, I believe, right here. I think the peephole size is right there, doing the kitchen stuff with the sink. And I believe there are some chairs. Maybe they designed the chairs as well. I realize how uneven the ground is. It's actually a little more straight. Like that. And I believe this building is like a small study or like a office area, because they have a table and a chair and some sort of light bulb in there. Their section drawing is really pretty, in my opinion. Really gets you into that feeling of outdoorness and the rawness of it. Now what I'm drawing here is, I believe they've decided to add a closet unit and the washing area a little bit half underground. They didn't really specify why they've decided to do this, but I think they did this so they can kind of be melded into the nature and the ground. But of course, they could also be doing this so they could incorporate additional space up here. So I see some people reading something with an iPad here. There. And this is actually a bathroom area. Wait, this is supposed to be flat, and I have accidentally drawn that in the same height. It's bathroom area with a nice bathtub and shower. There, that's great. And I think in this side, it's not a section, but you can see a little bit of design going on. This is a window, I believe, and there's like a living room inside. And I believe this was designed for a family with kids, because I see some kids in this drawing here. In the section drawing, that is. And of course, we want to incorporate some nature. Let's draw a different kind of tree style this time. Maybe some grass. And I see a lot of house plants in this building drawing section. And I think they do that to create more green harmony with the spaces. Alright. So let me just accentuate the section. Boom. Just like that. All right, let's get coloring. I've decided to draw a section and perspective drawing today because I thought this way I could learn more about architecture in a proper analytical manner. Just like I've mentioned in my other videos, well, not my other video, just like I mentioned in the previous video, that I feel like I was just sketching for the sake of sketching and not actually sketching, trying to understand architecture in itself, which is the main reason why I've started this video series, is so I could learn more about architecture. And of course, architecture isn't just about, you know, section drawing. It is also about the perspective drawings, how a building looks like, the general concept of sketching. So maybe in the future I want to do something along the lines of those kind of videos. Okay, let me color in the section, the neutral colors. So by me practicing this skill, I believe that I would be able to sketch my ideas better in real life, get a better understanding get a better understanding of how architecture work. And I'm also like looking at section drawings really quite deeply and thoroughly, which I believe will help me get the idea of the building better. Alright, there it is. I think there's a little bit of like a thin layer of concrete placed here. Good, that's looking very good. Okay. Now let me go ahead and color in the other colors. The interior of this house is actually quite wooden. So let me just get the wood in there. I might have forgotten to add a little bit of that beam structure in between. So the perspective of this drawing might be less accurate than the section drawing because I'm basing it upon what the houses indoors look like. But I'm sort of trying my best to get that general idea of how the building feels and looks. There you go. That's an interesting thing to do, where you have like a seating area and then you can sort of see the bathroom. I feel like this is like a whole private area where it's like half sauna and half, I don't know, like onsen, I guess, but onsen relaxation space. I don't know exactly how the doors look. They didn't provide me with a plan drawing, but I think the section drawing is enough for you to know what's really going on here. Now, for the walls here, apparently, where's my cooler? For the walls, apparently, they use like these vertical lines of metal sheet, because of course, if it's wooden, it's gonna rot. But the vertical lines of metal sheet adds that rawness to the building, which, again, rawness in architecture means structural as well as kind of down to the element. And the top half is actually wood. That's good. And for the other side, it's also a metal sheet. There. That looks good. Like, not that I would say it myself, but that looks generally nice and good. And I'm gonna do a bottom heavy to show you that it's bright. And some of the darker wooden colors, which I don't think I have, so I'm gonna use something else. Just like that. Okay, there it is. I think the closet is probably nice and warm here. Just add a little bit of a grayer tone. Now, for comes to roof, I'm gonna make it feel transparent by just not coloring too much. There you go. I would also like to accentuate the poles just a bit, so I'm gonna use this. Voila. And let me color in the blue for the nice final, sorry about that, for the nice feeling of skies. And let me also color in the roof with the blue, just to show you that it's a little bit translucent. And there it is. And let me just color in the windows. And I believe that's the house of Roof House by Tamada and Wakimoto Architects. I think I was able to learn quite a lot about this building today from drawing the sections. This really helped me understand the building very strongly, and some interesting features in the building that I never really realized from just the photos. With this section drawing, I think I also got to understand how open and huge this middle ground space is and how high the roofs are. They didn't provide me with the height of the roof, but I believe that this roof is about, 4 meters tall, which generally our houses are built 2 meters tall, so it's like 2 stories, almost. And that allows you for a nice open space, but getting protected by the rain. Oh, yeah. And because of these lines here, I believe the shadows in these houses would look really pretty. Anyway, I'm not going to draw that today, but I think I got the idea of what this house was trying to convey, and I was able to receive the core of this building. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's sketching video. I'll come back with another one. I quite like doing this sketching of sketch section drawings, but I'll try and figure out what else I could learn about architecture, not just from section drawings, but from perspective drawings, maybe from floor plans at one point. Floor plans are a little bit less visually interesting, so maybe I might not do that. But here we go. We'll try what we do. But we're going to be experimenting as we go. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys around. Bye-bye.